All right. We are starting today's session with our colleagues. My name is Anando Bose, and I run the business for DigiDrub. And I've been privileged to work with some of very fine women colleagues. And on the occasion of International Women's Day, and I think also beyond that, I've never had a chance to chat with them on how their lives are and what they do. They all come from very diverse backgrounds, diverse cultures. So I think it would be a very interesting um, conversation with everyone. And I would like to thank every one of you, Meghla, Shunjukta, Navanita, Onulekha, Shunipa, and Suhani, for joining this. Um, so I just wanted to open it up. If you all want to say something, Meghla, before we start the Q&A.
Thank you so much, Anando. Um, Again, welcome everyone. Welcome to this discussion today. We have a few of the finest women that I have worked with, I have known personally, and I'm really looking forward to this session. I chat with them almost every single day. On different things, on about work, about life. I think it would be very interesting to have everyone together and have this conversation. Thank you very much, Anando, for proposing the idea of everyone sitting together and having a very casual conversation instead of always putting things into a structure or into a system. So thank you very much for that. And I'm really looking forward to chatting with everyone. I know there's so much we've already spoken about, but it's always nice to chat with women who you work with and who are going through the same
Absolutely.
things in life the way you are dealing with it.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. So I think it would be nice, before I asked, if you can just give a 1 second what you do in DigiDrub so people gets a perspective. This will be broadcasted on our social media channels, and a lot more people are going to watch. Not only people who are within DigiDrub, also our future colleagues, and also the people at large. So I'll probably start with Shunjukta. That Shunjukta, I've known Shunjukta from the time when she was a spinster and she got married, and now she's a mother. So, Shunjukta, why don't you talk about a little bit about your journey? And also, I know, and we also chat offline, of course, everything comes with a lot of responsibilities, which is outside work. So, how are you managing it and all that stuff? It would be lovely if you could give a perspective.
So hi, so every one of our colleagues, we've been together in this organization for now close to 6 years. I'll be completing 6 years very soon. So of
Nice.
course, yes, it's been a journey. And Firstly, I'm really grateful to Anando first you and my entire, women leaders who have been there with me throughout, I think, the first few days, Meghla, Navnita, they were there right from, the beginning. So of course, it's like I said, it's been a journey of, right from completely focusing into work and doing everything that I would need initial on an initial hand-holding basis. Of course, that to a stage where I took a short break, came back, my roles changed, my life completely changed after being a mother. But I'm really extremely grateful and forever I will be. And I'm really lucky, I would say, to find an organization like DigiDrub where I could balance both. So I'm really, really grateful for that. And, I hope this association just continues the way it is now. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's very nice to hear that, Shunjukta, that and the ecosystem, it's not about an individual in the organization. I think it's everybody. Like you chat with other people a lot more than we probably do. Probably chat once a week for a little while. But talk a little bit about your journey. From being in how things happen. How are you managing life? You have a child now, and also I think people would like to know what you do in DigiDrub also a little bit if you say, and any inputs you have, because there would be women who would be walking your path, right? Some people have walked, and most people will walk your path. So how are you doing it? And you moved from, you've also, you know, you were born in where, Kanpur or Nagpur?
No, no, Nagpur, yeah. I
Nagpur.
was
So you
born.
moved a lot, across the
Yes.
country too. So yeah,
Yes.
if a little bit of that would be nice.
So, firstly, my professional journey at DigiDrub, I had started doing in the initial days, I've done social media, I've done SEO, hand-holding of campaigns, everything. But I think over the years, then what happened was I became a specialist. I am now leading campaigns at DigiDrub. So, of course, this is something which I really wanted to do. It was my calling. So of course, I'm really happy that I could, get a niche. I could carve a niche for myself with, doing what I would really enjoy to do. And of course,
Yeah.
looking forward to more. Moving on to my personal journey. Uh, like I said, being a mother just changed everything. The entire perspective of a woman changes after being a mother. I always say this to my other, relatives or friends who are going to be mothers, that your brain just completely changes. It's a neurological thing which happens, that your brain completely just changes. And then you just tend to focus on things which will not harm your child, or you'll just be more protective. And then, the other things keep happening parallelly. But that thing is of prime importance at that moment. And like I said, being in a supportive culture at that time is extremely important for a woman to balance both professionally and personally. So that, and for my journey on a personal level, I think I've brought up my daughter for the past 4 years all by myself, full efforts from family, all of that. And of course, and coming to the points that Ananda just said, that, what can, make life better for other women is time management, prioritization. These two things really helped me cope up with everything that was going on. So I think it at that time it's really vital to understand that this is something which I need to do at this time. And I think I've heard this quote from Indra Nui also, that everything cannot you cannot balance. Balance is a myth. That's what she says.
Hmm.
Sometimes your work will take priority, and it is important to give that priority at that time. And
Yeah.
sometimes, some days, your family will take priority. And that days,
Yes.
it is important to give that.
Hmm.
So, of course, trying to maintain that somewhere, that code just hit me somewhere. And, now I know how to, navigate through those days. So, yeah, that's my two
Beautiful.
cents. Yeah.
Very nice. And you're currently based out of Mumbai.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. I think Meghla, I've heard of Meghla's. It's a funny thing. If I am sharing something with y'all, you'll not believe. You know how Meghla's name is saved on my phone? Anybody can guess? So Meghla has a nickname. Okay, and when Anirban first talked about her, and this is how her name is saved in my phone. It says Meghla bracket Noni Banerjee. Okay, that's a nickname. But I don't remember seeing Meghla when she was small. Her uncle and I, we studied in school since we were 5 years old. Um, but I think she's grown to be a very strong individual, and she was actually the first person, technically, to be a part of DigiDrub. But she's also had a beautiful journey with us, handled many, many critical projects, seen the company grow literally from zero revenues to where we are today, and we are very blessed. Um, but Meghla would love to hear a little bit about your journey, right? And some of the challenges also you faced in the way, and your 2 cents. Yeah.
Sure, Ananda. Thank you so much. Um, So I have worked, I mean, I wouldn't say I have worked, I have been associated with DigiDrub for 6.5 years now, a little more than 6.5 years now. Um, it's been a journey because I joined DigiDrub when I was fresh out of college. I had no work experience. I had no experience of the world really. All I knew was, you study, you give exams, and you pass and stuff like that. I had no work experience. And then I joined DigiDrub, and I think I grew as a person. I grew as an individual. I grew as a woman, since we're talking about womanhood here. I grew as a woman. Life happened with me professionally, so both professionally and personally. Personally, I was a spinster, yes, and then I got married, and then I've been married now for a few years. Um, there's a lot happened in my professional aspect. I mean, my professional life. There's a lot happened then in my personal life, right? But as a person, because I joined DigiDrub when I was so young. I joined DigiDrub when DigiDrub was so young. I always considered DigiDrub to be a part of my life. I'm being very honest here. Maybe because, I don't have any other form of work exposure, but I just, for some reason, always used to associate my life and my life at DigiDrub to be the same. And I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it. I have worked with people. I have argued with people. I have assigned them work. I have, delivered projects. It was just, how I would define myself at the end of the day. Um, I would not lie if I say that days were overwhelming. They were. Even when, I had lot less responsibility, even now when I have more responsibility, work is supposed to overwhelm you time and now. Otherwise, it's just very flat. Things are supposed to go up, things are supposed to go down. There have been times when I have been overwhelmed. There have also been
Hmm.
times where I did not know there were things I could do, and I delivered. And I
Hmm.
was quite amazed, really. And I felt that these exposures were given to me. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of time when you're young, when you don't have too much experience, people don't trust you as much. People don't give you that
Yeah.
exposure, right?
True.
But I
True.
feel for me, how I started the journey, a lot of exposure was instantly given to me. A lot of responsibilities were instantly given to me. I was very scared. I did not know how to go about it. But it very organically
Mm.
happened. I did not know I had it in me to
Yeah.
get things done, or rather to be a professional at the end of the day. But it just
Mm.
happened. Work grew, I grew, I made, friends. I know they say that, your colleagues are your colleagues, they're not your friends. But, the way I associate myself with everyone who's on this call, the way we chat,
Yeah.
the way we discuss, I think I would call them my friends. I can't just put them in just that colleague category. Uh,
Correct.
and because I've worked with so many women, right?
Yeah.
Now, yes, of course, there's like a good balance of both men and women in the organization. But I think when we started off, there were a lot of women who were working together. And
Yes.
yeah, right, remember? And of course,
Yeah.
Mamita was there, Nobunita was there, Shunipa, we've known her for like a while now, right? Um,
Yeah.
I really built a very good working relationship with each of them. And
Yes.
anytime I had any issues, say professionally, personally, I knew there were people who were ready, who were there to listen to me, who were ready to talk to me. And I always had them come to me as friends, come to me as great colleagues. And we've really built something good here. We've built something substantial here that I am very proud of. And I think
Yeah.
DigiDrop, when we talk about culture and women, um, I think women find it very comfortable working in DigiDrop. As Shanjukta rightly mentioned, that women have a lot more responsibility than just, their professional responsibilities. Again, I would not want to stereotype. There are men who take a lot more responsibility when time comes. I don't want to generalize it, but I'm just talking from my own
Mm,
personal experience. I have had to take a lot more responsibility at a certain time of my life.
true.
And it's just DigiDrop has been something that has been so constant in my life that I had the freedom, I had the space to balance things out. I don't know if
Mm.
I would have been able to do it in any other setting. So I'm really happy with the things that the way we've panned out, the way things have panned out. And that's that. I think Digitub's given me a lot of space to grow, and I'm still growing. I wish, there's much more that I can contribute in my own capacity to DigiDrub, just the way, DigiDrub is contributing towards my life.
Sounds, thanks for that, Nigla. It's always good to hear. And, I know, like I always say that, I've been part of a couple of startups before, I started, this. And I've been very fortunate, as I said, that, and I truly mean it. I mean, people knows in the organization that I don't mince words at all. Um, but I've been very fortunate to work with some very good colleagues, who took this responsibility and um, to make things own. Otherwise, we won't be where we are today. But how was your journey from being not married, right? The moment you became married, did things change for you? Like just post marriage, like you knew your, boyfriend would be your fiance, and then your husband. The good thing is that you know a person, but then again when you live with somebody under the same roof, that's what my wife tells me. Though she knew me for a long time, right? And we had a little long distance relationship because she grew up in Africa, then she went back again. But she would really not know me until unless she starts living with me, right? And for you, has things changed after wedding, or you felt that no, there's not a lot of change, post marriage?
Oh no, everything has changed. Everything. So before I got married, I knew my husband for 12 years before that. Like,
Yeah,
high
that's
school.
a long time.
Yes. And and you think you know someone when you've been together for 12 years, and then I got married,
Yeah.
and things were very different. When you're not married, you're two separate entities, you're two separate individuals doing your own thing. He has his career, I have my career. I take my own, decisions. When you're married, even to someone who you've known for a while, you're building a unit together, right? So there's
Yeah.
a lot that comes from him, there's a lot that comes from me. Sometimes I have to give more, less comes from him. Sometimes he has to give a lot more. I'm not saying it always
Yeah.
is a 50-50 equal balance, right?
Uh-huh.
It's very different when you get married. A lot more things, even if you've not accounted for them, kind of gets added to your to-do list that you have to do at the end of the day. um,
Mhm, mhm,
Even if you're a working professional.
mhm.
So it was a big change for me. It was paradigm shift, I would call it. It was not even like a tiny shift, it was a paradigm shift. And yeah, and I mean, it's just, it was an experience, it was a learning.
That's good. That's good. Let's move on, and we'll come back to all of you. Now, Vanita, why don't you say a little bit about your journey? Now, how you're facing it. I know you tremendous amount of load that you take, and the entire organization knows that. But it would be nice to hear from you that how you're balancing stuff. And I agree with Shanjukta. There's nothing called balanced, really. I mean, it's all in the head. You prioritize what you have to do, right? And
Yes.
but would love to hear your thoughts, please.
Hi, Anindo. Hello, everyone.
Sure.
First of all, I would like to thank you, Anindo, to organize these sessions.
No,
This is
don't
actually
make it too much
required.
about me. It's not on me,
Uh,
please.
it's required
Yeah.
because I joined DigiDrub in 2020 with a fear in my heart. that just wondering what surprise were waiting for me. What is the new,
Yeah.
and this is the new environment, what new responsibilities am I able to achieve the goal and give the required all the um, things to the company, what they are expecting from me. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, as you don't know, everyone, I came from a very conservative family where it is believed
Mm.
that women do not require to work, especially from the
Mm.
private company. It is okay if
Mm.
she is working as a teacher or professor,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
private company, there is a lot of hurdles you need to do. Okay, so you cannot
Yeah.
balance. So don't join the private company.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
it is totally different experience I have received from DigiDrub. This is the fifth company, Orindo and everyone. I'm working for DigiDrub, and it is not a office. It's a family. Sometimes, because as a married woman, what I have experienced, balancing the professional and the personal lives, it is very difficult. Uh, Even when your in-laws, your father and mother are getting older,
Yeah.
and you have to
Yeah. Yeah.
take their responsibilities. And
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes I take a leave for 1 or 2 days, and after
Yeah.
that I
Yeah.
get bored. That uh, no, I need to join again because
You're talking like Jeff
uh,
Bezos. Yeah.
yes, this is
Mm.
working as a medicine to me. Because
Yeah.
sometimes it happens, various difficulties happen in my life, in my family life, the responsibilities, I cannot take it. Okay, let us just call any of them. I generally call Megla, Unuleka, Shanjita, all of them actually speak for a while. I feel like it works as a medicine. And of course, to push in this private company to work for me only, to get something for me, to get independent on my life. Uh, I must say about my mom, who is a
Mm.
housewife, who encouraged
Mm-hmm.
me that you can do that, no worries. Don't worry
Mm-hmm.
who is saying what and what they are gossiping about you, just go for it. And of course, the
Mm-hmm.
digital, because it just helped me, just give me that confidence. Yes, you can do that. And
Mm.
it's a lot for me. I handle more all kind of clients. Sometimes it happens I just grow up as a woman and understand how to manage the family itself, from the client, from my colleague, of
Mm.
course, from friends.
Interesting. Interesting. I've never thought about that. Interesting. What you are helping clients across time zones, right? From South America, United
Yeah,
States, Africa, South Asia. And normally, you know what, Navnita, which I really, it's very interesting. And I must say, in US, there's, I think I'm forgetting the exact name for that organization. It says women can code. Normally, in the coding world, in the pure tech world, you see less number of women for whatever reason. Okay. And there's a big push, saying that, and I think it's just for whatever reason this has happened. Something just goes on happening, and a certain gender takes over a certain space. But you've been extremely successful, being a technology lead, and now you're handling such a massive portfolio. How did you get into technology? Was it something that you wanted to get into, or it happened, or you want, like, sometimes I got pushed into few things, and then I figured out that I'm good at it, or the other part is that you wanted to be in it, and so you got into it. What happened for you? Is it
it's
something
my
which
dream
happened?
job, on my dream portfolio it is. I generally love coding, and it's a medicine to me. What is happening
I
in my
know.
life, any difficulties, if I just put my head into the coding, the technology just give me the uh, healing part. It's a healing part too. That
Mm.
I just forget everything, that this is the headache just going on in my head and I cannot take it. I am not getting the resolution for this problem. Me and with my laptop with coding.
I know I have a friend, he's now a CTO of a large company, but he's a coder at heart. He's happiest when he can code. I know people who loves coding just loves coding. It's like singing for them, I like music, so I singing to me is therapeutic. But I understand that. But we'll come, we've got some folks to cover. Sunipa, why don't you go next? Would love to hear a little bit about, everybody has a different journey, and love to see, a little back journey of yours, and what you're doing now, and just a regular conversation.
Sure, sure. So, when we come to working experience, I have done a variety of things. I was just looking back or thinking back, listening to all these wonderful women. So I just remembered my one of my first jobs when I think I was still in college. I was working for this professor who was blind. So I still remember that he was a professor of Narendrapur school. And I still can't believe that he was a professor, but he was visually challenged and he needed somebody to organize his papers. He used to dictate his lectures to me. I used to go and type them and get them printed out. He wanted me to read the newspaper to him. I used to read articles. And I just suddenly remembered that. And he was such an inspiration. And he used to live all by himself. He had a son. He was married before his wife had passed away. He had a son. His son was married and settled abroad. And this gentleman used to live all by himself with just a female attendant who would come in part time. And he would
Mhm.
just sit and wait for me and he would say, Shunipa, Ishacho, and I would answer, and we would have our 2 hour session. And that I think taught me so much about resilience, what you can do. We have all our senses and we still complain and we feel that we can't manage. And that gentleman was, and he was so full of life. He was never depressed. He used to joke around and um, gossip with me, and he was so positive. So I just remembered that.
Mhm.
But then I did a lot of other stuff, but it's mostly been academic. And then when I came to DigiDrub, this is the first time I think I got into this world of digital marketing. And Meghla was the person who actually helped me through. I started with the blogs, Book in the Kind, if you remember, and Knowledge. Those were the first people I worked for. And Onindo, we used to talk a lot. I remember the meetings and used to tell us all these stories. And it was such a wonderful atmosphere because it did not feel like an office at all. It just felt like a group of friends who are collaborating together and working on things and also sharing their lives and what is going on, movies and food and this and that. And we used to chat about all sorts of stuff. And you also used to ask us, I remember, what movie have you seen and what series have you seen and food and all that. So it was so different from other places. So that is what I still love and enjoy. And of course, there were predominantly, I think, women back then. Songjukta and Avnita, I worked with all of you. And it was so positive. Everything was so positive. Like people say that women can't get along. They bitch about each other, gossip about each other. But here it's never ever been like that. And nobody even makes a conscious effort to do it. It's just that's the kind of people they are. And all of them are super strong and so inspiring. And I'm so lucky, I feel every day, and the flexibility is a huge bonus because I don't think I've shared this, but my son is a special needs child, and I would not have been able to do a normal full-time job if I did not have this flexibility. So that is something I just do not take for granted. I so appreciate it every day. That absolute flexibility. I can ask Meghla, can I take a little bit more time for this? And she's like, please don't worry about it. Today only, she said, please don't worry about it. Without even knowing my background. She doesn't know, I don't think I've shared it with anybody. From Yukta, it's the same thing. Everybody is supportive and encouraging. So I'm just very glad to be here and among all these women, and I learn from them every day. So
This is very, very good. Thanks for sharing your experience, Punika. Um, on a very, uh, different note, I can tell you, and I know
Mm.
this, you believe in God. You people think, there is something called God. It's coming from millions and billions of years. But you have two hands, right? This is knowing.
Yeah.
I'm a more knowing person than believing, I know for sure that people that we kind of sometimes say that, a little divergent in whatever areas, they
Mm-hmm.
are actually lands up to be the most brilliant people on earth. Okay.
Yes.
And if you just look around, you don't have to look, just look around the current trailblazers in the world, right? I don't want to name them. It's a webcast. So um,
I know.
you'd be
I know who
seeing
you mean.
95, if not 99% of that. Because normal people thinks normally, right? They
True.
cannot think beyond, and you have to give them that um, opportunity, because whatever they will pick, they just think very differently. I know that for sure. The best physicists, the great sportsmen in the world, super entrepreneurs, right? Everybody knows their name.
Yes.
If they were very normal, they would be doing normal things. They will be doing what they
Absolutely.
are. So
I
it's a
completely
blessing,
agree.
and mark my words when I tell you this. Because I know this. It's not I believe. It's not like making people feeling good, but I know this for sure. That's going to happen. But this is good. Thanks for sharing. Suhani, why don't you share a little bit of, you know, your journey? You're newly married now. You just got married in first Feb, and I would love to hear. One thing I think people are not saying about what they do. Sanjukta did this thing. So Sanjukta runs a lot of work, search engine to doing campaigns, manages very complex projects, big projects. Megla has been like done everything. It's kind of an all-rounder, I'll say, except for coding. Megla has pretty much done like everything, managing, and very integral part of our growth story. Nomanita has been a colleague for the longest time, and now she's running our operations in 31 countries. I mean, and it's not a matter of joke. Um, and Sunipa has been doing exceptional work in writing stuff for our clients. As things move into AI, she has very well adopted the large language models and using the human intelligence truly, and building good outputs for our client. Sohani is our, I think, the youngest colleague in that way, that we have, and she's done a very, very good job. I think in the last, I don't know, it's only 1.5 years, and
Yes.
pardon me if I'm not,
1 year.
that you've been, you got us, some good credentials. But this is not really about digital. Would love to know your journey. You come from Rajasthan, right?
Yes.
And how has it been? You had worked with a fashion retailer before, I believe, a
Mm-hmm.
very well-known luxury fashion retailer. So how has it been, your journey? Now you're married, how you're balancing stuff, and your work is very demanding. I know that.
Mm-hmm. Hi everyone. So when I joined DigiDrub, like I didn't know about the company. I was new to India. I was thinking like, what will happen? Will I get the global exposure when I move to India? And in a city like Jaipur, it's not a tier 1 city where you have a lot of corporates, where you meet a lot of people. So I was pretty skeptical before joining DigiTrub, but I don't know why I thought that let's just give it a shot. And I think the first time I was interviewed by Anulekha, then Meghla, and one on one, like I kept on meeting women only. Like firstly Anulekha, then Meghla, then Nobinita, then Sanjukta, and after Sunipa. So my my first thought was, why is most of the women joining this company? Like, is something happening? Like it is, there is something that less males are here and more women are here. Maybe they are happy. Maybe I wanted to know, and I realized I was speaking with Sanjukta and Meghla. Sanjukta has like a kid, a daughter. Anuleka has a kid. So I wanted to know about their experience because it's like, yes, you work for a company, but the most important for a women here for the long term plans is whether they'll be able to survive in a particular company. It's not just about the corporate culture, it's not about the career for them, it's also about the professional personal life, because women have got different roles to play. They can't be just the breadwinners of the family. They need to sacrifice and they need to, of course, do a lot of things that a male won't have to, or need to prioritize. And it's the truth. It's the truth of life. So I that's why I just kept on hearing the experiences of Sanjukta, Meghla, Navbanita, Anulekha, and I didn't get a chance to speak to Sunipal that much, but the most comfortable thing I found in their stories, I found that they are very flexible. They have got the freedom to work at their own pace in their own time, and that didn't even help them to work in a specific environment. They were able to get the results, get work done, and especially give their family the actual time that they need, that they want. And I think that's what kept me going. And when I was speaking to Meghla, I, I think Sanjukta is right, Nobonita is right, that in DigiDrub, we all are family. It's not that only one person is there, he or she is doing everything. It's whenever you need to learn, you want to learn, you just go and you can reach out to any person and you learn a lot. You can just, they guide you very well. It's not like there is a flat hierarchy which helps you not to compete but to grow. And I think that's the best part that DigiDrub has to offer. So so compared to other women in this group, I'm very young in terms. I was just a spinster, and it has been a month, and I'm still juggling between my professional and personal life. I've got very less time. I'm on time crunch all the time. I'm running from here to there since past 4 to 5 months. It's like I'm just talking about work and just hanging up. It has been my life. I'm not chit chatting as much as I used to in the beginning of my journey. But I feel DigiDrub has given me the platform of the flexibility, the freedom to express myself. Um, and the most important thing is the freedom to work on my weaknesses also at my own time. Because, yeah, I agree, everyone is running, but when you have the flexibility to work on what you want to, then you get the time to grow also. So, yeah, this is my journey. And in the future, of course, I hope that I'll be able to achieve as much as I want to, as much as I target. So, yeah,
Well, thanks, Sony. So you just been married like not been a
a
month, I
month,
guess, also, right?
25 days, yeah.
So how different is it like being, having such a pressure job that you're doing, and suddenly get married, you get a little time off, you go out, and then I saw you came back, and then you again went for your honeymoon, right? Again you came
Yeah.
back.
Mm-hmm.
It's but I can understand it's not easy. And then normally you move into your in-laws house, right? There's certain expectation because in your head also, sometimes we make expectations which are not there, but we try to,
Mm-hmm.
since it's like being in a new organization, right? You try to
Mm-hmm.
prove yourself or something like that happened. Or how are you managing it? Or is it, you said that no, it's chill for me, it's all cool.
No, no, of course, like there are changes, but okay, so I moved from Jaipur to Calcutta, from northwestern region to a complete different city. And
Of course.
when you do that, it's DigiDrub is the only constant that I have right now.
Yeah.
So I know these people, I know how they work, I know what is happening, even my clients. So rather than managing DigiDrub, I feel like DigiDrub is the constant where I am at pace. Okay, this is happening, this I know these people, that's it. I need to manage
Okay.
others, not DigiDrub. So it's opposite for me. I know Sunipa is there.
Interesting.
I know that I just need, she's just a mail away. I need to just email her, text her that, okay, this is done. So for me, DigiDrub is where my heart is at ease. Okay, this is the only thing that I know right now. Besides this, everything is new. My in-laws, my spouse, like I just know him for like 2 3 months. New home, new city. Even I feel
Yeah,
that
yeah,
currently, I am kind of dependent here right now because it has been just 25 days and I am not sure
yeah.
where to go, what the things are. But in terms of independence, like I know that professionally I've got this and I am at in a right direction. So this is what I am feeling right now. And in terms of ours, I know that we have got client calls, we have got work to do. So this is very normal for me. This is a normal lifestyle for me, so I can manage, I can juggle. So this is, I think this is a very distinct answer from what others usually give, but this is happening right now.
No, thanks, Johnny. We'll quickly move to Anulekha. I know we've got 13 minutes left, and I just want to. I know that some of you'll have to also log off. You'll have other calls coming up, so but wanted to be cognizant of everyone's time. I have some time, but I just want to be cognizant of others. So Anulekha, why don't you tell me?
Yeah. Hi everyone.
And Anulekha
So
is our HR manager, so people should just.
yes. So before I say anything, I would just like to say a thing that when I actually gave my interview to Orlando, I was expecting the time, and I said the same to Anando that because I was in doubt, to be honest. Because most of the companies they were not actually allowing me to be there, so I just was really scared about whether I would be chosen for this job. So Anando's was only one reply: will you be comfortable? And I don't know, that actually churned that confidence in me, and I just said yes, I will be. And that is how I joined. And then the entire journey started, and it's still going. And to be honest, like the kind of care I got from DigiDrub during my toughest time, I have really didn't got it from my family as well. So, I mean, family, I would say the near and dear ones whom we call as relative and things like that. So, and that actually helped me to understand that culture of DigiDrop and actually with which we are all connected. It's not only an office and colleague, and it's not that regular stuff. It is all about emotional connect. We are so very emotionally connected with each other. We understand each other so very well. So and that is happening. I mean, Suhani is the youngest of all of us, and she has just joined us. But again, we have connected so well with her. That's an emotional connection with her. And obviously, when we heard that she's getting married, we started giving her calls and what's happening and what's not. So that is how we are at DigiDrub, and that is the culture of DigiDrubians. So now, before I say anything, I would just like to ask. I have a question in my mind on it though. So, what is? I mean, and we know all that famous line that we have that behind every successful man there is a woman. So, I would just like to know that woman behind your success.
So, Anulika, I've always been very verbal about it. It's not behind. She's always been in the forefront. She's been sheltering me even today in her spirits. Um, and I don't want to digress this conversation. I'm a complete mother's boy. Okay, if there's a term like that, if you ever saw me with my mother, I behave like a 5-year-old child. Um, uh, and that's how I've been because my dad had a traveling job. He used to travel, and I've been on it. He also knows it. I've always been extremely connected to my mother, and I always felt I'm still connected to her umbilical cord. That level of connection that I had with her, even when I left the country, very early I left India, but I would speak with her twice, thrice a day. Just even if I get 2 minutes, I'll call her up. Um, And she also, I think, somehow treated me like a um, 5-year-old in her heart, somehow in her head. I still remember when I was like 35 years old, and it was a bad day. I had misbehaved with somebody. She forgot that I've grown up. She actually beat me. Believe it or not, I was 35 years old. Okay. She forgot. Like, she gave me two spanks and said that, that's not. And later she realized, oh my God, he's a father of two kids now, and this thing. But, it's a very different relationship I have. But having said that, she's always instilled with me, believe it or not, and it's absolutely true, is if you see the way I work, I don't treat whether you're like women or men. If you see, it's the same conversation, same tone I put it in front, because I think that's what I expect from everyone. It doesn't matter which gender you're. To me, it really doesn't matter at all. Work is work, and what I expect from me, I expect from others. And she told me that she always said that, don't different, never differentiate. And she's pushed me to do amazing things. I mean, one thing, I used to study in a school called Calcutta Boys School. And when I was very small, when I used to get out of the school, there used to be a lot of people who are from very humble backgrounds, like beggars who used to sit out there. And, I used to see them feed their kids, with a little bit of rice, whatever they had. And my mother told me something very profound. It still stays with me. I think I was 7 or 8 years old. She said that in Bengali, I'll tell you, and I can translate it in English for others. She said that, Babu, নিজের ফ্যামিলি তো সবাই দেখে, হ্যাঁ, আই হোপ তুই এর বেশি কিছু করবি, হ্যাঁ। তো basically saying that, beggar also takes care of their family, whether you're an industrialist, it doesn't matter. It's a common thing. Everybody does that. But you're only of use if you can do something well, and which helps others too. So she's always been a constant force for me. My wife will get surprised if I tell her name, because I realized over a period of time, when I started DigiDrub, for 1.5 years I had no income, right? No income. And staying in the United States, and investing in the business. And she's a very quiet lady, as a person, very, very quiet. She hardly talks. I don't know how she does her job, because her job requires a lot of talking. Maybe she gets exhausted. And she told me that, and I told that after 1.5 years, when things were little odd, I had just told her once that, again, I've got 2, 3 big job offers, because I came out being a president of a company, and, there were other folks that I knew who were, very kind in offering me good jobs. And she told me that, on your deathbed, I hope you don't say that, I could have tried a little harder. And I still remember her telling me that. And she said that I'm still earning. You can, and let's do till the last drop of water left. So that's all, and the conversation was over. So I've not been a good. I have not been able to give a lot of time to my kids. Now I give a little more. Um, but she's been a constant source. I've never had to bother about the family. So if your home is strong, right, I think then you can do anything. If that's not there, then you can't do anything. At this age, I know I'm 51 years old now. So I know that uh, that you just cannot do things, without her help. So it's pretty much my mother and this thing, and it's not like they're behind; they're in the forefront. I'm actually like being a shadow to them. So that's pretty much it. But only like a thanks for sharing. I know we've got like just 5 minutes left, but very quickly, I would like to just go around the room, and from a very career perspective, Shanjukta, if there are little girls who are watching this, or young boys who are watching this, who wants to get into, what's that one thing you'd like to share? Given today we are moved into the age of AI and so many things happening, purely as a professional, what would be your input? And this, I would ask the same questions to everyone, please.
So I think being in the world that we are now, I think it's very important to keep yourself updated. That's the first thing, as to what is happening around the world, of course, so that you're able to talk. And secondly, to be able to talk, I think at this stage, more than education, you also need to know how to communicate. that is something which is of real growing importance. That you have a lot of thoughts inside you, you have a lot of knowledge inside you, but you need to know how to put it out at the right time, in the right place, and more importantly, in the right way. So I think, of course, communication and staying updated of things is two very important things, coming to the era that we are going. So yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Shanjukta. Meghla, what about you? Any
I
inputs you
feel
have for people who?
yes, Ananda. So, I feel um, you should always start somewhere. There is a lot of thing that's going to stop you, hold you back, but you should have the confidence and the willpower to start somewhere. Um, and never be afraid of trying something new. I feel we get very comfortable where we are sometimes, right? And it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
if it's happening, let it happen. Let's not, disturb the system. But I think at some point of time, you really need to do something new in your life and, see where things go. So that's pretty much what I had to say for whoever is starting their career.
Very good advice. Great advice from both of you. Navanita?
I feel in a modern age, there are 3 points I would like to refer for the uh, younger colleagues that we are
Yeah.
working on. One is the strength of patience. Second is the importance of discipline and work too much hard to get something new. The value of hard.
Okay. 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 The third thing, what did you say? Working hard to build value. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Because
Interesting.
nowadays, only the what we have, I have a bigger team actually. What I have experienced nowadays, uh, due to some difficulties in their families or in their friends, the patience levels are getting reduced. So
Interesting.
this patience
True.
is important to make them professional in their work.
Agreed. Agreed. Sunipa?
I think for me, what is very important for women growing up, for young girls, is independence. And when I say independence, I mean finances, managing your own finances, banking,
Yeah.
things which we really did not learn growing up, investments. I myself felt that these are things which kind of are left to the dads of the family
Good.
or the husbands of the family. So investments, banking, even like
Couldn't agree more.
hammering a nail into a wall, driving a car. So I feel that women should be are not dependent on anybody else, be it a man or a woman, doesn't matter. But that independence is very important because now people are traveling, they're changing locations, and women are staying alone. They have to leave, like Suhani is shifting to a new city. So it might be a single woman who's shifting to a
Great.
new place, a new abroad. So that independence, able to live by myself, able to negotiate with people, be it a landlord or anybody else or a bank manager, that independence is very important. And I feel that I think now academics is also changing because I see the kids having lessons on investments and finance, and that's a wonderful thing. So that I feel is very important.
Beautiful. I know Suhani has to leave. She's been just texting me. But Suhani, any like 10 seconds or 30, 15 seconds, and then you want to log off? I know you have a call coming up.
Um, I think the and to young boys or young girls, you just happiness is everything. You learn in during on your way. You'll get more discipline. You'll become independent. You'll do everything. But if you're not happy with your career, with the people around you, nothing is going to make you satisfy. Then definitely you are going to fall. Even if you are disciplined enough, but you keep on thinking that, okay, you're not happy, whether you'll reach somewhere or not, then there is no point. The end goal is just to be happy.
Beautiful. I think that's great advice, Swani. If you want, you can log off. I know,
Thank
your,
you.
your call is starting up, and I really agree. Anulekha, anything from your end?
Just one thing, like everybody has got a notional thinking that AI doesn't work for HR, but I would say AI has helped me a lot. The generative AI and the data analytics have helped me to, in case of recruitment, in case of handling my all administrative stuffs, regarding the screening of the CVs. So it has helped me not only for effective output, obviously,
Mm.
but very easier and fast pace. It has increased my level of screening as well as making things more faster. Like on a very
So
short period
people.
of time. Yeah.
No, sorry. Please go ahead. In a short period of time, I had a follow-up question. Sorry.
Yes. So in a very short period of time, I would be able to complete many tasks.
Absolutely. I think it builds tremendous efficiency if correctly. But people who are looking into a career, say, wants to get into the field of HR, personal talent acquisition, what's your 2 cents to adopt all these? Basically, you're saying AI
Yes, to
engines and.
adapt AI engines. It is not only about sitting on your desk job. It is HR is no more a documentation. HR is no more about handling things on papers and pens. Yes, when we are growing all over, AI is much required for HR. So you need to learn AI tools and technologies.
Couldn't agree more. I think Sunipa also, stressed on something which I absolutely believe, Sunipa, that, and we should definitely, do a separate call of learning investments, from a, very, very important financially. We had an unfortunate incident in our community out here, and she's a dear friend. She lost her husband, and after a while, she told me that, Anando, I really don't know what to do. And I wish I had, when my husband was telling me you should get into finance, understand what's going on. So I couldn't agree more. But I'm glad that, that this was a great conversation. I wish this was a 2 hour, 3 hour conversation. I could have gone on and on. There were a lot more questions I wanted to ask. I didn't have anything prepared, but once you start talking, things starts flowing. But I would really thank sincerely, to all of you. I think today we are all working together, and we are here where we are because of your great work. You all are managing teams. You're doing some outstanding work. But thank you, and I hope this is of use for folks who are going to see this when it will be broadcasted. And thank you. Have a good weekend.
Thank you so much, Ananda. Thank you so much for arranging this call. It was a great conversation.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Be
much.
well. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.